Hi, welcome back. And if you don't know who I am, partially because you're new here or you just forgot, which is totally valid because I've been posting like forever and a day. I'm Red Blankard. I'm a teen young adult author who is working on publishing her first novel, Diamond in the Winter, which is a young adult fantasy and part of a 5-installment series. So yeah. And today I'm just gonna kind of be talking about like this whole concept of really the quiet fear of being read. And this happens in everyday life, and not just writing, but obviously I'm gonna be focusing more on the writing prospect of it. And it's not like I'm afraid of writing. Okay, I love writing. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's like the only thing I do besides reading. Okay, I don't have a lot of hobbies. I love expressing myself. I love getting my feelings out onto a page because sometimes like that's the deepest form of therapy that you can find. But like giving that to someone and telling them like, oh, read it, is absolutely terrifying. And you look at them and it's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna read that. And I think that's like more the fear of being perceived than being afraid of writing. And it's like when you think about it, it's strange. It's like we spent all this time creating these stories and like polishing them up and then hoping to find them, like the stories themselves will be found in someone's hands, and like the moment they do, we want to hide in a wall and never show our faces again. And it's like, if you see me, do not talk to me about this book because I will actually jump out a window. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like a really big paradox. It's like you want to be seen, you crave to be seen, and then there's like this instinct to stay hidden, like a sort of protection in a way. And it's like writing is a kind of helpful exposure. It's like even fiction, parts of you do leak through your writing. It's like I personally write a lot about like mental health and anxiety, and I found that it's easier to share ideas than to share yourself. This act of being read or understood means surrendering control over interpretation. Like every line carries some sort of mark, like, or fingerprints or whatever. It's like unique to everybody, right? Like my thumb is gonna be different than your thumb when I activate Touch ID on an old iPhone. And it's like even when I want to write about someone else, there's like also a shadow of me hiding in the sentences, like self-inserted characters, right? It's like what I fear, what I want, what I believe, and that's like what makes being read and understood and comprehended, really. It's like they're looking at you, and not you, but they're looking at the character that you were writing, and they see you, and that's like terrifying, right? Obviously, I have written a lot of books. I've been writing for 4 years, and I've been working on the Ember series in the entirety of that time. And so I've gotten through a lot of rounds of beta readers, and I have one consistent person that's been beta reading. And while it is easier to have that person beta read every single time, it's still scary, okay? And I hate reading feedback. I hate it so much because I have this like need to be perfect. And so like obviously even constructive criticism, and like even when the person is incredibly gentle and kind about it, it's still like no. And I don't mind letting them read like the fun scenes and like the banter and the fluff, but I find that I avoid feedback the most in the serious scenes or like the super emotional scenes. And it's like once I sanded the story like on my iPad when I was like super little to my aunt, and I could not look at her. I felt like exposed, even though it wasn't that much of a serious story, but still it was like a part of me, you know? And it was like every sentence was like some sort of secret that I hadn't meant to confess, right? And it's like I wanted her to love it, but I also kind of wanted to disappear. Because who wouldn't, you know? So you're standing in front of her and it's like, how old was I? I think I was like 10. And it's like, obviously I knew that it wasn't the best thing in the world because I was 10 years old. And like, I'm very in tune with my perfectionism. So it's like, if I know something isn't good, I'm not gonna want to share it with them. At the same time, I want them to read it because I want like this validation behind it. And I feel like being understood in a way, like being understood when you hadn't really meant to be, is like standing in front of a mirror that you didn't realize was two-way the first time. Like when you stepped into the room, it's like you're in an interrogation room. You've never heard of interrogation rooms before, and so you're yapping to your interrogator, and you don't realize you're being recorded for one, and you don't realize other people are watching you. It's kind of like crying in a bathroom stall, and there's like a crowd of people outside. It's vulnerable, and you don't like it because it's unexpected. And every time I have expressed this like fear of mine to other people, they constantly tell me like, oh, it just means you care. And it's like, it does mean you care. It's like, I care so deeply about my writing and I care so deeply about it wanting to be liked. It means that I've sort of written something true. Like, even fiction is a form of truth-telling. It's like, you can't write something entirely false. It's like, not everything in fiction is a lie. Like, think about historical fiction. It's, even realistic fiction, there is always going to be some sort of valid point in a book, even if you don't want it to be, even if it's satire. I feel like vulnerability is the bridge between a reader and a writer, because you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable, which makes the reader connect with the book a little more. And like, the fear of being can't talk. The fear of being read is not a weakness, okay? It feels like it is, and it feels scary. It's just proof that words mean something. If the story did not hold a piece of you, you would not flinch at letting it go. And like, fear is something that is definitely worth walking through. It's, sorry, I have a piece of hair stuck in my ear. It is a necessary part of art's exchange. And like, I get it. It's spooky. Having the fact known to you, I guess, that once your words are out there, once they're on a page, even if it's not entirely popular and you don't get like much reaction from it, they stop solely belonging to you. And that's kind of scary, because like, readers will see things that you never intended, and that's okay. Because when you think about it, the entire purpose of literature is interpretation, and how some people might see, like, let's take the popular idea that like, maybe the author just wanted the curtains to be blue. Maybe their favorite color is blue, and like, that's okay, you can interpret like that. But other people with a more analytical and maybe a tinge of metaphorical view towards reading will interpret them being blue as a way to set the mood. And maybe the author didn't intend for that, but maybe the readers will interpret it like that if the scene is in fact a scene that matches that vibe. And being read, when you really think about it, is an act of trust. You let others make this meaning alongside of you. And it's okay to feel this fear of sharing your work. It, like I said, it just proves the point that they mean something to you. And like, maybe the goal isn't to stop being afraid, because you're never gonna stop being afraid of something. Maybe you'll become more comfortable with the idea of it, but it'll never fully go away. Maybe like, the goal is to let that fear walk beside you. It's like a reminder that you are in fact doing something brave, because not everyone has the courage to share their work. It's like, every story we release or we share with another person is like a small surrender of sorts. It's like a quiet kind of faith, like, oh, I know you will take good care of this, and I know that you will understand it the way that I hope you would understand it. And me making this video is not me saying that I have surpassed this great trial of being afraid. So it's like, yes, I am in fact afraid of being read. Everybody is, really. If like, even when you're super comfortable sharing yourself with others, it is hard to let somebody see a really, really deep part of you that you can include in your writing. But like, I am slowly learning that this fear is a sacred type of fear, right? It means I've made something alive enough to be seen, like my characters or the plot behind these stories that I'm writing. And maybe somewhere someone is waiting to see it, and that is very special when you think about it, because not everybody has that opportunity.